Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where this time we're going to be doing a character review and discussion of Chewbacca, one of the OGs from the original trilogy. Now, Chewie was first introduced as Han's best friend and co-pilot of the Millenium Falcon, and he has evolved into a much beloved character in the Star Wars fanbase. I think a lot of that can be contributed to him being brought to life in those original movies by the late, great Peter Mayhew. Um, Something about the kindness and compassion in his eyes and the way he was more than just a guy in a suit. Like, I think that, you could see, you could hear through the iconic Chewbacca sounds from the language he speaks that the character was given a lot of depth and a lot of emotion. As far as the films themselves, Chewie was very much a big part of the rebellion's victory. I think he did serve as kind of a straight man to Han, where he would kind of reel Han in on some of the Han things that he was known to do. And in his own right, Chewie was a very loyal friend, very, like I said, very compassionate, very, very much a soldier. Now, he did bring us the Wookiee species in canon, which is, probably if you ask people, like everyone knows what a Wookiee is, one of the most popular alien species in Star Wars, because they're basically kind of, like big teddy bears. They're big dogs, but they're sentient. They're like humans. They have emotions. They have feelings. They have families. I'm not gonna go into Chewbacca's family and the holiday special. We're not gonna go down that rabbit hole today. But I do want to talk about, and Chewie was brought back for the prequels. He did have a cameo in there, short interaction with Yoda on Kashyyyk. That was pretty cool. And then obviously the sequel trilogy brought him back, and I do kind of wish they'd have given him a little bit more to do. I think his whole fake out death in The Rise of Skywalker was like, if they had actually killed him, like I think that would have been the final nail in the coffin for Disney, like to give him such a cheap death. But I think people already don't like that it was kind of played for a fake out, but it could have gone a lot worse. Like if they had made that decision. Obviously, in the original Legends material, he did die sacrificing himself, and I think people were very mixed about that, but it's definitely in line with Chewie's character. Like, him sacrificing himself to save Han or Han's family is something that I totally would see happening in the Star Wars universe. Obviously, we know in canon that it did not go that way, but I do think one of the best Chewbacca moments was that cry that he let out, that emotion when he watched Han die. I think that was kind of a culmination of all the things that he and Han had been through. And he was a very loyal companion until the very end. So Chewie, in the grand scheme of things, could be looked at as a side character in Star Wars, but I would argue he needs to be mentioned amongst the main original cast. He's iconic. He's kind of like Darth Vader, where if you see Chewbacca, you think Star Wars. Like, that's from Star Wars. It's a recognizable face. It's a recognizable character. And I think that impact on pop culture has to be considered when reviewing him as an overall character. And he can stand alone from Han. So we're going to give Chewie an 8.2 out of 10. I feel like that's right in kind of the range that he would fit. When you consider all the material we have on Chewie, I think he's like I said, he's more of a main character than I think people give credit for sometimes. You have to look beyond him just being Han's sidekick. Like, yes, Han is a huge part of his character, and they almost kind of coexist in that way, but in his own right, when you look at Chewbacca the man, Chewbacca the Wookiee, He is a good character. He's been around for a lot of the major events, and like I said, he's iconic. So 8.2 out of 10. I feel like that's fair, and that's all we got for today. So appreciate you watching, and if you liked the video, make sure you like it. Just blow up that like button. Go home. May the force be with you.